You're talking about a kid that's not even a kid. He's 25 years old. You know what my issue was at 16? Angela, they wanted to charge me as an adult then.
He wants to know, is there a possibility of you, actually your son wants to sit down with you?
No, he doesn't. See, Charlamagne, you recall me.
The biggest mistake he ever made was not sustaining his relationship with Tammy Cowens. Her tell-all docu reveals the truth. That is the message 50 Cent made in February 2025. Everyone took it as a straight-up shot at Big Meech. No sugarcoating, no room for misinterpretation, just a cold, hard, you messed up moment. And if you've been following their history, this was a big deal. And just when you thought things couldn't get messier, 50 Cent drops another bombshell. He teases a documentary with the caption, "This is going to blow your mind. Coming soon. The facts are stranger than fiction." Boom. I mean, boom. He knew exactly what he was doing with that one. Reports started circulating that this whole mess might have gotten even worse because Big Meech has been cooling it with Rick Ross, who just so happens to be one of 50 T's biggest rivals. Even Tammy Cowens, Big Meech's longtime friend, personal assistant, and business partner, is right in the middle of all this. Not only that, she's also a co-producer on the 50 SBMF series, the show that's literally telling the story of Big Meech's rise in the drug game. So what happened? One minute they're all working together, and the next, the 50S out here dropping cryptic posts and teasing a documentary that sounds like it's about to expose everything. It got everyone wondering, was this a personal fallout or a money dispute, or is 50 just mad that Big Meech got too cozy with Rick Ross? Amid all this chaos is 50 Cent's son, Marquise Jackson. Now, if you know anything about 50 and Marquise, you already know their relationship is beyond rocky, so this wasn't exactly surprising.
And there's a bunch of people out here that need to hear this. And it was like, you thought you were special. You really thought you were special. Who told you you were special? You thought you were special.
Ouch, that one had some bite. And of course, everyone immediately took it as a shot at Lil Meech's failed attempt to smooth things over between his dad and 50. Instead of helping, he got clowned. Not just by 50, but now by Marquise too.
I'm definitely willing to sit down with him and so I can hear his perspective and gain a little bit of understanding. I mean, like, we're both men at the end of the day.
Things went from family drama to full-blown war, but to really understand why 50 Cent and Big Meech are at odds, we gotta rewind a bit. You've probably heard of BMF, the Black Mafia family. Big Meech and his brother, Southwest T, ran one of the most powerful drug empires in the U.S. before the feds took him down in 2005. It went unnoticed from 1,980 to 2,000. Now, fast forward a few decades, and 50 Cent turned their story into a hit TV series with Lil Meech, Big Meech's own son, playing his father in the show. Sounds like a solid partnership, right? Well, not anymore. The fallout really started when Big Meech linked up with Rick Ross for a welcome home concert after getting out of prison. And if you know 50 Cent, you already know how he feels about Rick Ross. Let's just say they've been beefing for years, and 50 didn't take kindly to Big Meech suddenly standing next to someone he considers a straight-up enemy. From a 50S perspective, that was saw trade-up betrayal, and if there's one thing we all know about 50 Cent, he never lets a betrayal slide. The man is a mafia. If you've followed hip-hop beefs, you already know that 50 Cent and Rick Ross have been at each other's throats for years. And you know one of 50's favorite ways to clown Ross, calling him Officer Ricky. See, before Ross became a rap star, he worked as a correctional officer, and 50 has never let him live that down. In his eyes, Ross has no business associating with street legends like Big Meech. Imagine having a lifelong rival, someone you've been exposing for years, and then suddenly someone you once trusted, someone who actually lived that street life, decides to buddy up with them. I will totally take that as a betrayal as well. Like finding out your close friend is hanging out with the one person you can't stand. And then there's Tammy Cowens. She's been a key player in Big Meech's life. You know it too now. But things are getting messed up here too. Rumors are swirling that Tammy played a critical role in helping Big Meech secure a deal to get out of prison early. Allegations are now surfacing that Big Meech himself sees Cowens as an FBI informant. Yeah, you heard that right. There's speculation that her involvement in securing the BMF deal with 50 Cent might have put her in a position where Meech no longer trusts her. And if there's one thing we know about this world, it's that once the word informant gets attached to your name, things can go very left very quickly. This new twist makes 50's cryptic posts even more intriguing. If he's planning to expose some truth about Tammy Cowens in his documentary, then we might be looking at an even bigger fallout, one that could extend far beyond just social media shots and family feuds. If that's true, 50 will have a major reaction to it. He sees her as part of some backdoor deal he wasn't in on. And let's be real, no one likes feeling like they got cut out of something big, especially when they thought they were an essential part of the story. It's like putting years into a friendship or business only to wake up one day and realize the decisions are being made without you. That stings. And let's not forget, 50 doesn't just beef behind the scenes, he takes it straight to Instagram. He posted beef about the documentary. It was a warning shot with a simple message that you better be prepared to face the consequences of excluding me like that. At this point, everyone's asking the same thing. What's in this documentary? What bombshells is 50 about to drop? Now, with all this drama coming out, you'd expect someone to step in and try to calm things down, right? That's exactly what Lil Meech tried to do, but whether it was damage control or desperation is up for debate. Apparently, Lil Meech slid into 50 Cent's DMs trying to smooth things over. From what's been leaked, he told 50 that his dad's connection with Rick Ross wasn't personal, it was just business. Basically, he was saying, look, my pops isn't choosing sides, he's just trying to make money. And honestly, we've all been in situations where someone we care about makes a move that looks bad, but in reality, they're just trying to do what's best for them. Maybe a friend took a job with a company you hate, or a family member started hanging out with someone you don't trust. It doesn't always mean they're betraying you, it could just be survival. But 50 was not going to buy any of it. Instead of letting things go, he clapped back with even more shade. He made it clear that Lil Meek's explanation did nothing to change his mind. And just when people thought the drama couldn't get any messier, 50 hinted that BMF, the very show that helped boost Lil Meek's career, might not return for another season. Think about that for a second. Lil Meek is out here defending his dad, trying to hold things together, and in response, 50 is basically saying, cool story, but your show might not make it past this beef. Next level petty. It's like when you try to apologize to someone and instead of accepting it, they double down and hit you where it really hurts. The real question, I'm sure one of you is curious about, is how much further is he willing to take this? Because if history tells us anything, 50 drags them out until he gets the last.
Who told you you was special? You thought you was special?
This isn't even rap beef anymore because the family has walked in as well. Marquise Jackson, 50 Cent's own son, has been estranged for years. Their relationship has been nothing short of a disaster, with Marquise constantly taking jabs at his father online. So when Marquise decided to jump into this whole BMF situation, he straight up trolled both 50 and Lil Meek, throwing out that now viral jab.
And it was like, you thought you were special.
You really thought you were special? Who told you you were special? You thought you were special?
Now, if you've ever had a toxic family member or an ex-friend who just lives to get under your skin, you know exactly what's happening here. But that trolling is not the real beef. The thing here is that 50 actually sent a warning to Marquise, basically telling him to stay out of this, unless he wanted real problems. And knowing 50, that's not just empty talk. This is a guy who's built a career off of feuds. He doesn't forget, and he definitely doesn't forgive easily. So when his own son steps into his battle and sides with the opposition, that's only adding fuel to a fire that was already burning out of control. So how is this whole drama important? This very drama can shake things up for BMF, 50 Cent, and even the culture of hip-hop itself. First off, there's BMF the show. 50 Cent has been the driving force behind it, and let's be real, without him, it probably wouldn't exist. But now with this feud blowing up, you have to wonder, could all of this drama actually put the series in jeopardy? 50's already hinted that BMF might not return for another regular season. If things go south between him and the people connected to Big Meech, he might just walk away from the project altogether. But this also affects the coming generations, as this has already turned into a multi-generational war. What started as a business fallout between 50 and Big Meech has now pulled in their sons, turning it into a full-on family feud. You've got Lil Meech trying to play peacemaker, Marquise adding fuel to the fire, and 50 Cent standing his ground like he always does. It's a classic case of pride, legacy, and betrayal all playing out in real time for the world to see. But how much should personal relationships affect business? A lot of people are questioning whether this entire situation is proof that mixing friendship with business is a recipe for disaster.